welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this vlog. Today's Monday and I'm working from home. I decided to vlog this week and bring you guys along because I have surprisingly a lot of stuff going on. The workday is almost over, it's 5 p.m. and I just changed and I got into some workout gear. I started doing inclined walking on the treadmill and it's actually really good. I put an audiobook on and then I walk for 45 minutes with 15% inclination at roughly 4 kilometers an hour. I think that's like 3.5 miles an hour perhaps. It's a good cardio exercise, so it's good for your heart, and it also burns fat and it builds muscle, so it is maybe a bit of... Okay, I just got auto-dialed for a meeting that I don't need to attend and I had declined already, but anyway. Most people after they work out, they're like, oh my god, I have so much energy, I feel so great. Me, after I work out, I'm like, thank god that's done. Oh yeah. Where's my coffee? When I started filming this vlog, I had no updates about the layoffs, but in the meantime, there have been news. If you don't know, I work at Amazon Prime Video. I'm a software engineer. At the beginning of this year, Amazon announced some layoffs. We are based in the UK, and in the UK, you don't know straight away who is impacted, unlike in the US. We have to wait for quite a long time until we know who is impacted by this due to local regulations and laws. So it was pretty nerve-wracking, to say the least. I was quite anxious about this, especially when the news came out at first. But there have been news and I was not laid off, and neither was anyone from my team, so we're all quite relieved. Just adjusting the camera a bit. I was a bit anxious about it. I was worried because the market is also not doing so well right now, so I'm really glad that that wasn't the case. I do like my job. It's not perfect by any means, but I do like it and I'm grateful for it. I also need to tell you guys another story. Okay, story time. A lot of my anxiety comes from like very unrealistic fears which never really materialize. For example, I moved into this apartment last year. It's a rental apartment and I managed to set up all of my utilities pretty quickly except for electricity. I was told to simply wait for a bill to arrive and then just pay it, but it never arrived. Like I never got a bill. I've been here for 10 months and I never got an electricity bill. And then one afternoon, a couple of weeks ago, I suddenly got very anxious about this. I just built up this idea in my head that I was committing a minor crime by not paying my electricity bill. A bill which, for the record, doesn't exist. The week after that, I requested some meter readings and then I contacted a citizen's advice phone line, which exists here in the UK, and kind of like explained the situation. And long story short, it was all completely fine and it was actually an issue on the supplier side. To be honest, this completely ruined one of my weekends and I had a terrible tummy ache because I was so anxious about this for many days. And this is just another example of how my brain sometimes blows things completely out of proportion and makes me so anxious for no good reason. And this anxiety can really impact my life even if it's triggered by small things like these. If, like me, you sometimes struggle with anxiety or with your mental health in whatever way that might be, I can recommend BetterHelp. This portion of the video is in paid partnership with BetterHelp, but I've actually purchased their services twice in the past before they sponsored this video. I have done 3 rounds of therapy before, 2 of which have been with BetterHelp. I signed up for therapy for the first time in my life when I was moving from Berlin to London. This was probably the most stressful time that I've ever had. I had a tremendous amount of life changes happening exactly at the same time. I was moving to a new country. I was also starting a new job in a completely different industry. I had just started my social media and I was trying to figure out my small social media business at the same time. And I also had some personal stuff going on. It kind of like all collided, and it became this very intense, very stressful time for me. I remember that at some point I had lost over 7 kilos and I was just very underweight. Talking to a therapist at the time helped me quite a lot because it taught me some methods to calm myself down, and it also taught me that I shouldn't believe all my worst case scenarios that I formulate in my head. When you sign up to BetterHelp, the platform asks you a few questions, and usually within 48 hours it matches you to a therapist, and this therapist can really give you unbiased advice. You can speak to them from the comfort of your home, either through text message or video call or audio call, whatever works best for you. And you can also get a special discount if you want to sign up through my link, which is betterhelp.com/csjackie. Therapy has helped me a lot in understanding how my brain works, how my fear and my anxiety work, and how I can cope with them. So I really hope that it helps you too if you decide to give it a try. I read the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black a few years ago and I really like it. So I got this one now, which is a prequel to the series. And it's probably one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. It's an illustrated book and it tells the background story of one of the main characters of The Cruel Prince. And then I also got The Stolen Heir, which I believe it is a duology, but I'm not sure. The second one is coming out soon. This takes place in the same universe as The Cruel Prince, but it's about different characters. I've been having these drinks lately in the morning and they actually really help with my concentration. These are actually called productivity shots, but they are just sort of a mix of a lot of healthy stuff. I quite like them. I can recommend them. Buying an apartment has been on my mind for a long time, but it just seems like such a massively big decision. I haven't really spoken about this, but last year I contributed to helping my parents pay off the mortgage of their second house, and my parents then donated the house to me and my sisters. So technically I guess I am a homeowner, but I never really went through the process of buying a house or an apartment or to build it, and I know that that can be extremely stressful. There are a lot of things which can go wrong, and overall it just seems like such a big, massive decision, and I'm such an overthinker. I don't know how I will ever do it. I guess for now I'll stay with renting. I got groceries. I got some salmon, some Beyond Burger, and also some normal burgers. I have some eggs. Here are my morning shots. Some soups. This is pre-made mashed potatoes. I'm obsessed with those. I could eat mashed potatoes every day, all day. Then I have some lettuce, some tomatoes, some berries. Here I have some pears and some banana and some spinach for smoothies. Then I got lots of juices. I love this brand of juice. Got some normal milk, some oat milk, and then I have some yogurt as well. That's pretty much it, pretty much what I got. I got these mugs. Oh god. This is what they look like. They're made out of glass and they have an air pocket, which is good for thermal isolation. I'm doing some admin work. I want to add some money into my private pension. I opened a SIP. In the UK, a SIP stands for Self-Invested Private Pension. This is obviously not financial advice, it's just what I do. In the UK, the tax year strangely runs from April to April. So it's going to end very soon, and every tax year you have a certain allowance which you can put into things like your ISA or your SIP. Every year I try to max out the ISA and then I try to pay some money into my pension as well. I get taxed quite a lot on my RSUs, so my stock that I get from works. So I try to sell most of that stock and put it into a pension. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I have to do it before the tax year ends. I haven't really updated you guys on my Lord of the Rings reading journey, but I finished the Fellowship of the Ring and now I'm reading the Two Towers. I'm reading the Helm's Deep Battle, and very, very soon I have this incredibly exciting event. Movie in Concert is this really awesome concept where they display a movie on a big screen with a live orchestra playing the soundtrack at the same time. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait. I hope I get to finish this before. I won't have time to read the last book before I watch the movie, but that's okay because I kind of know the story more or less already, but I will still regardless read the last book. And I think that's all I have for you guys for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!